To get back, I be focused on my focus, it's time to shut it down. Couple rap packs go up, nigga, it's going down. They don't check us at the door, don't play around. You gon' make us have to shut this shit down. I'm like, we came to shut it down. I'm like, we came to shut it down. I'm like, we came to shut it down. I'm like.
What's going on with you today, brother?
Good, Champ. How you?
Man, I'm alive, man. I'm talking to Philly Dance, MOP. I'm totally fucking excited right now. I'm fucking geeked. I don't even know what the fuck I'm gonna say right now. I'm freezing up over here.
Don't worry about it. We're gonna work it out, brother.
Yo, man, talk about it, man. You got the new album. Can we get into that real quick and get these juices going, and then we can get into everything else?
Yeah, well, I mean, I got a new piece I'm about to put out now. I've been talking to my people about it, so it's not like we're not trying to sneak it out. I just want to make sure I keep everything under wraps, but I'm super proud of this. I got everybody's okay. Fame gave me the thumbs up. Lays, Fox, Tef, and Premier gave me the thumbs up. So I'm real happy about it. I can't wait to get it out. Just finished shooting the second video just yesterday. I'm literally on set right now shooting the third video. That's why I'm sitting in the whip. Yeah, bro, I'm just excited about it. And I've been putting these solo records out. Well, I mean, they sound like they're solo records because it's all me, but not solo because I got to get Fame's approval on everything, right? But I've been putting these records out since I want to say like 19. So I put out
exactly.
Yeah, 2019.
Where'd you start that with the 6-pack?
Yep, with the 6-pack exactly. Then I let me clear this up because I hadn't cleared it up. This is the first time I'm on your platform. So I'm dropping these. People call them projects. I don't call them projects. I just call them pieces because they're pieces of the actual project. So to me, they're just like singles. So the 6-pack was basically just my first single, but it was a 6-part single. Same with the Baker's Dozen, which was in my head is my second single, but it was a 13-part single. Then there was the Listening Session, which is my third single, but it's a 12-part single. And then there was a Re-Listening Session, which is my fourth single, but it is a 16-part single. So now I'm about to, let the next piece go. And, I'm happy about it. Everybody, like I said, my whole team, they give me their thumbs up. So I can't wait to get this out, brother.
So is they all on the album? Is Premier on the album? Is Fame on the album?
On this, okay, let me go back. It's not an album. It's just a piece. It's just a piece of the project, right? So the whole project is called the Billy Dance Project. On this particular piece, as I said, I'm trying to keep it under the wrap, so I'm not even going to throw the name out there. But on this particular piece, it's just me, and I want to say I got 2 other artists, up-and-coming artists, just doing hooks for me. But that's pretty much it. And this is just I'm putting this out so people could understand my diversity. You know what I'm saying? How far my reach go, because I love all the MOP fans. They helped me get through pretty much the bulk of my life. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not trying to go past them, but I'm just trying to show them that I can go in different directions and still give you that same authenticity that I've always given you.
So I see you spin. You spin a lot of lyrics. I want to say, do you feel like people think you just creative? You think they undervalue their lyricism? Is that what you're saying?
I'm definitely undervalued, but we don't call it that, right? We call it above the radar, right?
Above the radar. Right.
It's some things that's just above your head that you can't see. So it really started with me being trolled online, bro.
Get out of here. They trolled Billy Dance?
Oh my God, they tore me to pieces. Whoever this person was, hey yo, it was one person outside. I don't know if there was a male, female, younger or older, right? But these comments they kept leaving about how I couldn't rap. I could never rap. I was never nice. Lyrically, I couldn't stand up to the other cats or my peers. Or, it was stuff like that. And I ain't gonna lie, because this is one thing people act like they don't understand about artists. Like, we're human beings, so we got these emotions, these feelings as well, right? Like Erykah Badu said, like I'm an artist, I'm sensitive about my shit. You know what I mean? So don't just be flying it at me like that. So it kind of bothered me. And from that moment on, for it was about a week, this person was just, I mean, I'm talking about it was like knives or like it was like in my soul. He was digging in my soul with this. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna take that negative energy and turn it into a positive, and I have been creating records directly aimed at that person. And that's why when I put out the listening session, it was really for that person. I need you to listen. If you think I can't rap, I need you to listen. So that's why I titled it the listening session. And then the next one was the re-listening session. Just in case you missed that one, I need you to re-listen to some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you cleared that up, because I was definitely gonna ask you why'd you name it that.
Yeah.
And I've definitely been listening and I've been checking things out. I love the what's the one where you was talking about the president? I'm a little anxious right now.
Yeah, that's 6 o'clock briefing.
The briefing. This is the briefing. I like that joint. I like that joint. I love the whole concept. I love what you said. I love what you did. And just speaking on that, how do you feel about the hip hop right now killing each other and catching cases after they become superstars?
I don't think hip hop is killing anyone or catching any cases. Not hip hop.
So what do you think it is?
Hip hop's not doing that. You know what I'm saying? That's young men today. Like, you know, we all poked our chests out when we were young men. And that's just what it is. It has nothing to do with hip hop. Maybe somebody saying something in some records or something, and that's getting to the other person, but it don't have nothing to do with this thing of ours. That don't have nothing to do with hip hop. That has something to do with young men being misguided. And see, there's different kind of clout chasing. I guess, you know, that's what they call it, right? Clout chaser, right? Like, so I'm gonna wear certain things. I'm gonna buy certain things so I can look at people so people can look at me a certain way. I'm gonna carry myself. I'm gonna squeeze this firearm so people don't look at me like I'm a sucker, or look at me like I'm a real man or a gangster or something like that, which we both know. You cats don't look like y'all that much younger than me. We all understand that gangsters don't really live that long. You know,
that's
gangsters don't live that long or don't live free that long. You know what I'm saying? So it's that whole persona of I gotta be the toughest or I gotta be tough enough, or I mean they don't my guy, they just don't understand how important it is to make it home at night. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Like, you're gonna do some fly things in your life and in this business. You're gonna make a lot of money. You're gonna travel the world possibly. There's gonna be a lot of things fly, but ain't nothing gonna be flyer than making it home every night. You know what I'm saying? So I think that once the young brothers kind of get that understanding, and I can't talk, like, my biggest record was about robbing people, right? Because that's where I came from. You know what I'm saying? But now, as a man with a family, I understand, like, that's not cool. Like, I really, like, if I, you know, and I hate to even have this kind of conversation, but if I gotta if I gotta have a hammer on me where I'm going, I don't really want to go there. You know what I'm saying? And the thought that I have in my head now with having a hammer on me, you know, if I gotta have it, you know, back in the days, it was like, I wish a motherfucker would. Now it's like, man, I hope a motherfucker don't, because I'm gonna have to give him the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to give him the whole thing, and there's no way I'm getting around that. So I just ruined my life and I altered my family's future. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't for it. So just to answer your question, it ain't got nothing to do with hip hop, bro. But as far as young men killing each other, I'm definitely not for that. Regardless to where I come from. I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn, the jungle. We call it the bottom. It's the Brownsville, Brooklyn, everywhere you go around this world. You know what I mean? All throughout America. If you go to Paris, it's rough. You go to London, it's rough. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just hoping that at some point we can all get it together and have a clear head and understand, like, you don't really got to take a beef that far or an altercation. So I just ruined my life and I altered my family's future. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't for it. So just to answer your question, it ain't got nothing to do with hip hop, bro. But as far as young men killing each other, I'm definitely not for that. Regardless to where I come from. I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn, the jungle. We call it the bottom. It's the Brownsville, Brooklyn, everywhere you go around this world. You know what I mean? All throughout America. If you go to Paris, it's rough. You go to London, it's rough. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
I'm just hoping that at some point we can all get it together and have a clear head and understand, like, you don't really got to take a beef that far or an altercation. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
Right. Where you at right now in the
I'm
world?
I'm sitting right now.
No,
I'm
not where, but you in New York or you in
yeah. But
Paris?
I'm
Or
up.
where you
No,
at?
no, no, no. I'm in New York. But
Oh,
I'm up in the mountains in New York.
all right.
Um,
You might be around me or something. I'm in
yeah,
the
yeah,
mountains
yeah,
too.
yeah. I'm up here just trying to, cause my camera guy, he don't want to shoot, and me either. Like, I don't want to shoot what I've already shot or what I see other people shooting. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how many times I want to see dudes stand in front of three used cars with all their homies and shit, right? And you know what I mean? Bouncing around the same way, talking about the same thing. If you're gonna give me a visual, I need to see something spectacular, like capture me with that. You know what I'm saying? So me and my cameraman, we we float around. Sometimes we'll sit in a city, regardless to where we'll literally get on a plane and fly to a city. Not even our home city. We ain't got to know nobody. We'll sit right there for a week to scout locations to get it done. Like, I want to give you the whole thing. I don't want to just give you, you know what I mean, just lyrics and beats. I mean, that's the easy part. We got to give them something else now. You know what I mean?
So the project, how many joints is on that joint?
I'm not
You call
telling.
it a project.
I can't tell. I can't tell because it's all a part of the build up.
The
You know what I'm
rollout,
saying?
yeah.
Yeah, it's all a part of the rollout, so I can't tell. But one thing I can say, and I've never been cocky, and even at some points in my life when, I was on a downward spiral, I wasn't even that confident. But with this particular piece, I love it because of what it means to me. You know what I'm saying? And like I told you before, the cat that was trolling me online, he told me I couldn't rap. I had been
Did he
doing
come
this
back?
way. Now, I ain't came back. I'm looking for the bastard. You know I'm looking for him.
Well, shit, I wish you know that he inspired a whole bunch of beautiful
right. That's
music.
what I'm saying. Shout out to Son for doing that, because he
Yeah,
gonna give us fly shit.
Right,
man.
right.
Billy Danze, because this man shout Posse rugged never smooth, nigga. I fucking know. That was, come on, son. Yo, salute, man. You
Thank
already
you,
know
brother.
that was my type of time. You already know what question I'm coming with.
Billy
MOP
Dance, my cousin
versus
Ange.
MOP
Okay.
versus who?
Blessings to you, God.
MOP versus who? Billy Danzini.
It's not gonna happen. So I'm not even gonna put
Why not?
because it's something that I'm not. How you doing, darling? What's your name?
I was trying to say that, but they was talking.
Go. What's your name?
Go ahead, cousin Ange.
Angie.
All right, cousin Ange. All right, so here you go, Ange. Here's the deal. I'm not willing. So when it comes to verses, somebody got to come out on the bottom, right? And we all say, yo, it's just for hip hop. It's all for the love. But we're talking about people getting up here and displaying their work and what they've built for years to take care of their families. When somebody comes out on the bottom, you drop, your value drops. You know what I'm saying? So I'm confident as hell that whoever we get on the stage with, it'll be a manslaughter of that motherfucker. But I'm not willing to risk my family's future, what I have riding right now, what I have working for me right now, in order for somebody to have some enjoyment for an hour. Because I got to deal with it for the next 20 years trying to get myself back in position and to take care of my family. So I'm not willing to do it. We literally, before Versus was even a thought, we were already about to do this. MOP in another group. I'm not going to say the name. MOP in another group. This was like maybe 3 years. Maybe this is like 3, maybe 4 years. Maybe 4 years before Versus even started. We were going to do it. And the crazy shit is the third party that was involved, they came back to me right after the Dipset Locks Versus and was like, yo, we ready. We got the money. You know, I ain't even answer them niggas. I don't see your email, bro. It went to spam. Nah, so that's not something I'm willing to do, bro, because I put a lot into this. We put a lot into this, and I'm not willing to let it go just to be having a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't say
Right.
I don't love hip hop. I carried it around the world on my back. I took it places that some of your biggest artists can't go, and places that we can't even pronounce. You know what I'm saying? So you can't say I'm not for the culture. I did everything I needed to do for the culture, and I'm still going. But as far as the verses, I'm not excited about it at all. How about that, Angie? Did I do good?
That was perspective.
Yes, you did good. You
Thank
explained
you.
it correctly.
Thank you.
Keep going, fellas.
Yeah.
Shit, the next one is this. Do you still have a relationship, if you do, with Smooth the Hustler and Trigger the Gambler?
Yeah, you know what? I mean, because we're grown men now, so it's not like we bumping into each other at the corner store anymore. So I don't see them as often. I don't kick it with them as often. But those are my guys. Anytime I see Trig, anytime I see Smooth, it's always love. And you know, for years, the media and other people try to create an issue between us, which there was
I thought
never.
so when I was young.
Yeah, but there was never an issue. Like, I don't know, and I'm not bigging up my neighborhood for the senseless bullshit that we grew up around, but that's kind of how both parties are designed. So if there was an issue, we might have never heard about it in the record. You know what I'm saying? It might have just been those kind of situations, which I'm safe, they're safe, all mine are safe. You know what I'm saying? It was never no issues at all. And shout out to Smooth and Trig and their whole crew up there.
Trigger saying it in the record, like bigging them up, like MOP, how about some hardcore singers or something like that?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. It was never no issue, bro. But just the media try to turn it into that. And I think if the labels had a hand in it, but they didn't, if they had a hand in it, they would have made it even more to the public. But because we wasn't for it, because it just didn't make sense. There was no reason for us to have a beef. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah. One more, Rob, because I love you. Already know the record with Busta. How'd that record come about with you know MOP on the new Busta album? Because that's a crazy record.
Oh, that's
SARS.
That's
SARS. That go hard.
I think.
Oh my God.
Rottweiler produced it. That's a crazy record. Yeah, how'd that record come about?
Busta's my man. I love him to death, and I very jokingly call this man a weirdo, right? So Busta literally, I don't know what I was doing, but he calls me. No, it was early in the morning. I'm in a bed. He calls me early in the morning. Yo, God, what's up? Yo, I need you to come to LA. All right, nigga, you know, when I get up, I figured out when I can come. I check my schedule. No, I need you to come today. Fuck you mean today? No, I need you to come right now. So as he's calling, I got Lays calling. Yo, son, I'm booking your flight. For what? I don't even know what I'm going for. Yo, I need you to come to LA. So we go to LA. This is 5 years, 6, maybe 5 to 6 years before Czar comes out. We go to LA. We create. He go, when I get there, y'all need you to do the song with me. All right, cool. We did a song. That's what I was supposed to go for. Wind up staying 3 days doing 4 songs. Leave. About 2 years later, he calls me back. Yo, I need you to come to LA. I'm like, what the fuck? So we go back to LA. Now there's a video going on to this joint I just did, and it got y'all sampled in it. Busta's my guy. All right, cool. He got us dressed up as sheiks and all this shit in the videos. So I'm like, all right, for you, I'll do it. For you, I did. The shit was slick though. I don't know when the last time I had on some shades and shit. I felt good.
Okay.
I felt special. I felt special. The grapes and shit all on, all that thing going on. Looked like I had camels in the background. She was nice. So did the video. A year after that, the video comes out. So because this was a huge production, bro. Huge. I haven't seen videos, a production like this in years, at least a decade or more. So the video comes out. Everybody's going, because it says MOP featuring, Busta featuring MOP, but it's just a sample. Everybody loves the song. There's no way you can front on the song without our verses.
That's fact.
And then the beat, oh my God, Rockwall is ridiculous. And then Benny Boom with the visual. Good God.
That shit go hard.
So,
but it's the build up and how y'all killed it, though, how y'all came in was crazy.
Yo, dude, then he calls back like a week after the video's out. Y'all, I need you to regardless, like, fuck what I'm doing, right? So he like, nigga, this is what I need you to do. I need this done in 30 minutes. I'm like, nigga, like, you know what I'm saying? So, but always excited to work with Busta, and the beat was so stupid. Anybody could have gave me that beat. I'm getting on it. You know what I'm saying? So it took us about maybe 4 hours to put it all together, get a little rough mix on it and everything, and send it back to him. Then the kid CJ was on there too, which I thought was a nice touch. I knew who he was, but I hadn't heard much outside of his, his biggest song at the time. So I thought the kid was cool. I liked the way he wrote the beat and everything. But yeah, the production on that was just so stupid. Rockwalla destroyed it. And while we're shooting the remix video, which I thought was amazing because it had like that flavor in your ear, black and white kind of shit, which was nuts to me. Rockwalla's at the video shoot going, listen to what I got. He's playing me another beat in the fucking joint. He didn't even go put your headphones on. Nigga had a whole setup, a whole rig, all kind of shit. He turning this shit up. It's a remix to the remix, right? The beat is stupid. I'm going, God damn. Crazy. So yeah, man, we had a good time. It's always an adventure fucking with Busta. Whether it's just hanging out in the studio, creating records, or on the stage, which every time we're together, it's like magic. You know what I mean?
So you and Fame recorded together? Y'all recorded Johns together?
No. We recorded separately because so I'm out here. I'm doing a lot, bro. I'm not just doing music. I'm filming, running youth programs, boxing club, all kind of shit. I got a lot of shit going on. So I'm never sitting in one place. So Fame did his joint, but we kind of did it at the same time on the same day. We just, Fame did his shit, sent it over. I jumped right on it, sent it back. We, mixed up the ad-libs like we always do. And, it was done deal from there.
Crazy. It sound like y'all in the same room and everything the way y'all do it.
Now that's that magic, bro. That's when a rap group is not really a rap group. We just happen to be doing some shit together outside of living our lives together because we literally grew up together. It's not like so most rap groups is like somebody met somebody on the train and was like, yo, you could rap, you should link up with my man. Or somebody knows somebody from school or linked up in school. Me and Fame literally been a part of each other's life for so long that we don't even know when we met or how we met. If you ever speak to him, you ask him, yo, where did you and Bill meet at? He going, I don't know. Because we don't know. You know what I'm saying? So it's been that long. So that's why it's always easy for us to put the records together, whether we're in the same room or not. We always gonna have the same feel.
Okay, that's that vibe right there.
Appreciate you.
So, who's your favorite artist that you worked with?
I think, that I've worked with, I gotta say the most.
You got a lot of features and a lot of tracks, and it's like, for me, as a fan, it would be hard for me to pick one of my favorite ones. So you're in it. So who was your favorite to work with?
I don't know. I want to say, I mean, I don't know. We just finished talking about Busta, and I want to say Busta because he's this fucker's amazing. Like he's into this. Like whether we realize it or not, he's been a star his entire life, right? So this is his thing. So when you work with him, he's all work, no play. So it depends on how I'm feeling, right? Like if I'm feeling like, damn, I just want to get some shit done and leave, then no, Busta's not the favorite to work with because this motherfucker gonna have you sitting there all day just hanging out and shit. You know what I'm saying? I always love working with Guru because
rest in peace, Guru.
Yeah, rest in peace to my brother. I'm so fascinated with his voice. Like this dude,
one of the best voices of all time.
Oh my God, ridiculous, right? Ridiculous. And the way that he put his songs together, like he put it together, you could tell it was the feeling in him. It wasn't like, let me just write to this topic. It was more about the feeling that he had at that moment. And he would go in and spit it all, come out. You'd be like, that's crazy. Then you go, nah, I wasn't supposed to say that like that. Or I should have did that like that. Then he goes back in and perfects the shit. It's like, God damn. And then there's, I literally, the first time I worked with Styles P was kind of dope because I had no idea how much of an MOP fan that the Lox was. and just walking into the room. It's just Styles. Because Styles, if anybody knows Styles P, such a down ass dude, yo. He in the room, you expect to see all the deep lines. You walking in, you like it's gonna be all of the locks and everybody else they down with. You go in the studio, huge studio, it's just him. Just a grounded nigga, like standing right there, like, yo, I love y'all niggas. This is what I need y'all to do. Got it done. But the atmosphere, just him being in the room with him, it feels so comfortable. It don't feel like work. It feel like, yo, this is my dude that I ain't seen in a minute, and we, you know what I'm saying? So we put it together. So
it matches.
The
energy
exactly.
matches.
Exactly.
For sure.
Like, yeah, you know. So a lot of people that we worked with, it was great for this reason or that reason. Overall, I don't think it's like, I don't think I have a favorite, because like I said, you know, I may be in this mode this day, and I may be in that mode that day. But I appreciate everybody that you know, that helped me out along the way, and that we did records together. The collaborations either made me better or made me see something, or you know what I'm saying, or
Right.
helped me get that connection with that person. So I appreciate all the people I worked with. You know what I mean?
Shout out to the real.
So
shout out to my cousin that just came back. Take us back to the hill, man. How was it growing up in Brownsville, man?
Ridiculous. It was ridiculous. But you know what? Let me be honest, right? I'm gonna be 100% honest, because everybody want to paint this picture about how rough their neighborhoods are, and we already know that. I really want people to know that we had the best childhood that we could have in these rough situations. I don't want to make it seem like we never smiled, we never had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had good times.
Like, you ate just bread.
Exactly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, you had
government
nothing to
cheese.
eat. Yeah, no, we had, and the government cheese was amazing. That's the best. That's the best.
It was.
Shit.
You know those different. It was.
Sandwiches came from that brick cheese right there.
The best grilled cheese. And let me tell you something, my cousin threw some of that shit in some grits one time. The first and only time I ever had grits with cheese. That shit was so amazing. It was amazing. So we had good times growing up in Brownsville, and we had bad times. You know what I'm saying? It was just it was every kid's childhood. You know what I mean? Like, our kind of people. It was everybody's childhood. I don't have to say, yo, Brownsville was this, or I remember standing on the corner of that, because there was so many times where someone else stood on another corner and it was the same kind of situation. Our lives was in danger at sometimes we had fun. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, speaking of danger.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You said you went from about to rob something to doing a verse with which became How About Some Hardcore.
Yeah.
And then a week later you was on. Could have been God sent. How did that come about?
Definitely God sent. That's how it came about. So just being, you know, living the lifestyle I was living, and being on the edge at all times, super low income area.
999,000 short of a mil.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to figure out a way to make some money, and that was kind of the thing I was into at the time.
Was you about to jack a rapper?
No. It wasn't too many rappers floating around like that then. And the ones that was there, I respected anyway. Yeah, not to say I wouldn't have got their asses.
Yeah,
but I respected them. But it was an oil truck dude, and at those times it was that's when things were COD. So they had the cash in their pocket. So I followed him all the way from East New York all the way to the top of Brownsville. He made about 6-7 stops. He had a shitload of money. You know what I mean? So my thought was, let me go ahead and get that from him, and then I'm gonna run on back to the block, and we good for at least 2 weeks. Everybody good for 2 weeks. But at that particular time is when Fame actually was asking me to, yo, remember I asked you to do this record with him? I'm like, yeah. I said, yeah, just let me know when. He said, now. I'm like, what do you mean now? Like, it's now? Now, right now? Because I'm really, the oil truck there, he got COD, got a shitload of money in his pocket. I need to get that. I'm not telling him this though. He can't even tell what's going on at the moment. So he's like, yo, come on, they at the studio right now. We need to go. So I made the decision not to do what I intended to do and do what I was supposed to do, which was go with Fame to the studio. You know what I mean? And we created How About Some Hardcore. So I was doing the record with him for his album. That's where How About Some Hardcore, how it was created. And I couldn't even finish the second verse because I had never rapped that hard in my life. You know what I'm saying? This was my first time ever in a recording studio. I had never been in a recording studio either. And not too long after that, so we went home with my first verse, Fame's first verse, half of my second verse. Probably not even half of it. But I couldn't even go no more. My throat was killing me. And I just listened to what we had for like the next week. Hundreds of times just listening. And then literally not so long after, it might have been a week, no longer than 2 weeks, maybe a week, there was already a deal on the table. And this was a time when the record company execs had passion, right? They would listen to it. So now it's all about, let's see if your numbers is up, let's see how many this you got, how many that you got. You know what I'm saying? How many followers you got. It was more about the passion then. So it was a day when those record company execs could find an artist in the train station and give them a deal because they understood the passion. They had the passion for it. So, you know, maybe a week or so later, there was a deal on the table because they liked what we were doing. They liked the sound. It didn't sound like everything else. And they understood, you know, they heard the passion in our voice or whatever. So, you know, there was a deal there. We took the deal with Select Records. Mr. Fred Moneo, thank you very much for giving me my shot to change my life. And, you know, the rest is history.
You knew it was going to be a smash?
No. How the hell I knew that?
You were just happy being in the studio doing something different.
Dude, I was high as hell. I was on the roof. How the hell did I know? How did I know that? But I knew it was something different from what we were doing. You know what I mean? Never mind the fact that it felt much safer. It just felt like a little bit of relief, like of, okay, we got a shot to actually do something better than what we were doing. Because, I mean, come on, you know the story. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't going to end up nowhere, but there or there. You know what I'm saying? That's all. You know what I mean? So, but it worked out, though, and I'm real thankful. You know what I mean? So, I'm thankful.
The label situation, Select, Relativity, Rockefeller, G-Unit. How did all that come about? Was these bad deals, or you just had to move on?
No, I mean, you move on. None of the deals were bad deals. Like I said, Select was the first situation that we had. Definitely wasn't a bad deal. They gave us our shot. We moved on to Relativity, which we were supposed to go to Loud next, but we went to Relativity. And it was just a bigger deal. So everything you do, you should be growing in, right?
Right.
If it's not exactly what you need to get, you shouldn't feel a way about moving to the next phase of your life or the next phase of your career to move forward. And Mr. Fred Moneo, like I said, last time I talked to him, I went and sat down in his office. This is years after. Still cool as a fan. He had no hard feelings. I didn't have no hard feelings. Anyway, we went to Relativity after that. My buddy Cliff and Alan, who was over there. Alan, who runs Koch E1 or whatever it is now. They were over there running that, running Relativity. They took really good care of us. They put out the music the way they were supposed to, did everything they could do, and then it was time for us to move on. So then we went to Loud. Steve Rifkin did a great job with everything that we gave him, with the Annie Up record particularly. Did well, more than well, right? Like, it took me around the world. And then
Anthem there.
Right. And then, like, I don't know what kind of issues he had with the parenting company, but Loud actually not folded, but they were pulled in, they were sucked into that Sony system, and kind of dissolved.
The
then
big
from there,
system.
right, and then from there, I think we did something else before we went to Rockefeller, but Rockefeller, we can go all the way back when the Rock was a Pebble. before we even, when we left Select, before we even got on Relativity, Jay and Dame used to come to the studio and go, yo, y'all should come run with us with this thing we got. Well, what do you got? Well, it's called Rockefeller. What's that? You know what I'm saying? So, but they would come almost every day to try to get us to get down with Rockefeller. And just so happened, you know, we didn't do it then. And down the pipe, we became, you know, we did some business with Rockefeller. And so it's something that you don't know if you're not in the inside. You don't know if someone's having some kind of internal issues in their house. I don't know what the case was, but obviously it's public, right? And some internal issues in the house. So we pulled back from that once it all dissolved. We pulled back from that and had a meeting with Dame. You know, he offered a room full of money. We don't want that. Had a meeting with Jay. This is when he was over at Def Jam. He offered a room and a half full of money. We don't want that either. Because I remember when the rock was a pebble. So I watched you guys build something from the ground up. You turn shit into sugar together. If you could do that to somebody who helped you get into this position, and I'm not talking about one or the other, if you can do that to somebody that can help you get into this position, what would you do to me? I'm not talking about them. That don't say anything about them. Right, that says something about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to be able to trust the situation that I'm in. But I mean, I love and respect both of those guys. You know what I'm saying? And I'm always going to wish them the best. And my time dealing with them was always cool. I never had no issues with them. And even now, you know, I get on the jack and talk to Dame from time to time. Whenever I see Jay, what up? You know, regular shit. It ain't no issues. You know what I mean?
Every time you and Jay is on a song together, it's always some classic shit. Full on blaze, that shit is hard. Middle fingers in the air, that's one of my favorite joints. I don't know, how did all that come about?
Well, that's all. I mean, that was, so Full on Blaze was obviously before we started doing business with Rockefeller, but the song was already out. And again, Jay and Dan would always come to the studio every day. Jay like, yo man, let me get on the record. The record's already playing on the radio.
He loved the record.
Let me get on the record. You know what I'm saying? He asked multiple times, yo, let me get on the record. And Jay was cool. And I always thought he was so fucking dope. It was it always takes just one thing for me, right? One thing for me. He had one song that he did, and I watched him do it in a club, and I literally walked all the way up to the stage just to give him dap, like, you bodied that. So that's the verse that had me. So anyway, he wanted to get on the record. We already had it out. So, you know, he asked a couple times. It took a couple weeks or whatever for us to make the decision to go ahead and let him get on the record. He got on the record, destroyed it. You know what I'm saying? Like he does. And that's kind of history. And the other records were more of us, you know, once we started kind of working with Rockefeller a little bit, and Jay like, yo, y'all got to get on this. Because, I mean, always a fan. So with exception of Fred Moneo and Select Records, every other deal we had was because the A&R, the owner or the CEO or whatever, was an MOP fan. And that's Rockefeller, G Unit, Loud, everywhere we went. There were MOP fans, not me trying to figure out if they were, but this is shit that come out of their own mouth.
I mean, it looked like y'all the most favorite group to everybody's group,
right?
Everybody's rappers.
Oh no, we're the greatest. We're the greatest.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. They
we're the
fans.
greatest.
Favorite rappers.
Yeah,
there you go.
One of those people.
There you go.
Nobody can duplicate what y'all do. Like, you can't imitate that type of shit, that type of chemistry. And nobody does that. I haven't seen nobody done it today. So people want to know about this G Unit thing. So I got to ask you about G Unit before we move on from that. You know what I'm saying, to get back to you. So what happened with G Unit?
Well, G Unit,
want to ask me about it.
I think G Unit was it was more of a timing thing. So they had a lot of product coming out over there, a lot of artists coming out, or their roster was big. And when me and Fame, it was MOP, it was Mobb Deep, I think two other cats that came over there, two other acts that came over there, but they already had like 6 acts or something. So they had to keep pumping shit through the vein. Now and again, you don't know what's going on in somebody's house if you're standing outside. All we know, they was the biggest shit on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And we supported them, and we were fans as well. So I'm not sure if there was an issue between G Unit and the parenting company, or what the issue was. You know what I'm saying? If there was, or what the issue was. So that was it. Because when you do these kind of deals with these indies or major indies, if we call them that, right? There's still a higher up. There's still a company, a parenting company above them that has to give them their funding, and has to also, they have to run their releases through. So, by the time the last act on your roster is set for release, if you have an internal problem with your parenting company, that's going to cause a problem there too. You know what I'm saying? So, and we had adamant time to get records done and all of that. Did we? No, we got most of we got a lot of work done over there, but we just didn't put the record out because of whatever political things or whatever was going on between G Unit and the parent company. And like I've always said, I want to make sure I make this clear, because I always say, like, we were grateful for what G Unit or 50 and G Unit did, because they didn't need to do business with MOP. They already had their shit rolling, so they built their own house. They like, yo, boom, the crib is rocking. Take to the couch, you know what I mean? Y'all could chill on the couch and get it pumping from there, whatever. You know what I mean? Because they were friends and they were cool dudes. They're our kind of niggas. You know what I'm saying? But so to speak, the couch got a little uncomfortable. It was time to shift, and there was no hard feelings. You know what I'm saying? So it's always cool with them. Buck was my motherfucking favorite. That nigga was crazy there. 50 was cool. Banks was cool. Yayo cool.
I say he was crazy.
Buck was off the motherfucking chain. I would have to talk to Buck every 3 days.
Yeah,
like,
give me a little bit about him being off the chain.
Yo, chill. No, he was off an authentic hood nigga. You know what I'm saying? And me being a little older, I could see some of the shit and be like, "Yo, man, you probably shouldn't be doing that." You know what I'm saying? Like little bro, chill. You know what I'm saying? But I really liked all of them. And Buck's, his whole crew was like some cool ass country niggas, man. Them niggas from Memphis was cool as fuck. I fuck with them niggas hard. Banks crew was cool. Ye crew was cool. Like one of like Ye right hand man was somebody that was actually from my neighborhood, that I knew him as a young kid. I went to school with his sister and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it was all love in there. And then all of them was from South Jamaica. So my family is originally from South Jamaica. So I knew a lot of them, not the ones that was on the stage, but the ones that was on the block. So I knew a lot of them anyway. So it was just like kind of just going over to my cousin neighborhood and shit, hanging out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Before I dip back to the crib. So it was a comfortable situation. Shout out to those guys, man. Shout out to Fifth, Ye, Banks, Buck, all them cats over there at G Unit.
Go ahead, cousin.
Let me ask you about your connection with Big Pun, Gareth. So the song you did with him, New York Giants. What's your connection with Terror Squad? How was that?
Yo, Joe always been so before we got into business, like Joe was somebody that we listened to, Fat Joe fans.
Right.
Joe asked us to one day do a record with Pun. Oh, Pun wants to do a record with y'all. This is after he's already out, he's rocking. We hadn't done no records with him. We would hang out from time to time, and just connecting with Pun like it was different. Like he was a different kind of dude. He was funny. He was, you know what I'm saying? He was what you didn't know about him. All the positive shit though. You know what I'm saying? He was what you didn't know about him. And Joe and them, they some solid dudes, and they always been good with us. So traveling with them was always cool. And it was weird one time. I always tell a story how we were in Washington, D.C., and this was the first time actually doing a show with them. But we already hung out in clubs and shit like that. And I'm like, so in our day, like, we took pride in our show. Whoever was on before you and whoever's on after you, you love them. But when you get on the stage, we got this friendly competition. I'm going to bust their ass, right?
It's
Listen,
support
I'm going,
to go out there hard at the same
that's
time.
right. That's right. I'm going, Pun is a large man. Joe is a large man. I already know Joe give it up, right? But he got the rhyme pattern that he can give it up. Pun, a little bigger than Joe, he like, in my head I'm going, he ain't gonna be able to do that. I hope he could, because I'm rooting for him. But he ain't gonna be able to do it. Yo, dude, let me tell you something. When he got on the stage, they destroyed it. I'm like, these two big motherfuckers is going, not getting winded at all. I'm tired just looking at the shit. I'm like, yo, how is he doing it? But destroyed it. And we became close. Like, you know, some artists go in the room with other artists and, you know, everybody's up against the wall. You got your tough guy over there. You got your tough guy over there. You're like, come on, man. You can't really even be your best creatively if it's all this tension in the room. So we come in the room, when we come in the room with Pun, just like everybody else that we went in the room in our era, but especially with Pun and Terror Squad, that's like comfortable as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we were able to get close with Pun. And God rest him, man. Like, he was a good guy, like a really, really good guy, man. For people that didn't personally know him or did not get that opportunity to meet him and be close to him. Another thing about Pun, I think I don't think, I'm definitely tired of people not giving him what he deserved as an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never hear, you're like, yo, who's the top 5? Like, every now and again you'll hear Pun, but Pun should be in there. Yo, who was one of the greatest? Who is one of the, Pun should be in there. Like, the dude was dope, man. You know what I'm saying?
And
we
left us too soon.
Yes.
Yeah, but a lot of people that's in that top 5 went the same way, went a little bit too soon. Speaking of top 5,
right?
Speaking
Who's
of top
yours?
5, what's yours?
My top 5, and it may sound scripted, right? Because I just don't change it because no one has made me change it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no other artists came before or after that made me change this. And this includes myself. You know what I'm saying? But no one in this world is ever gonna fuck with Rakim on the mic. They're never gonna fuck with Scarface on the mic. Never gonna fuck with G-Rap. Never gonna fuck with Kane, and they're never gonna fuck with KRS-One. Ever.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
You know what I'm saying? No one's gonna be able to do it. Look, listen, if for some weird reason they want to give me like Lyricist of the Year award, I'm gonna figure out how to chop that shit in pieces and hand it to them niggas. Cause ain't nowhere in the fuck, nobody's fucking with them. Nobody.
You can be nice, but you're not better than.
No. And look, dude, I'm an artist myself, so I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring too. Like, I wanna be the best too, but there's no way I could be the best if we got them. There's no way. I don't care what lyrical scheme I come up with, how crazy the song sound. How we gonna do that? How we gonna top that? How we gonna top a man like Rakim, who's always made you feel like he was the most serious dude on the planet, and ain't never cursed one time in 30 plus years. He never said, "Motherfucker, I'm gonna kill you," but it felt like that. You know what I'm saying? It felt like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't play with him. But he never cursed, not one time, bro. Not one time in all of these years, man. So
he was smooth. Like, he had smooth delivery.
Oh my God.
He was real smooth with it.
The greatest.
And it was hard.
He's the greatest.
So,
and then, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I hear you, bro. I hear you because I'm about to start adding some more motherfuckers in there. But go ahead.
Add more. I need to hear it.
It's too many, right? It's like who's gonna top LL on the stage, right? Or like I'm talking about the energy that he brings, like the sharpness. Like, he's very professional. Who's gonna do it like him? You could say Busta Rhymes, but Busta be cheating because he got spliffs on the stage, which make like this shit is like it's like the greatest show on earth, right?
It is.
Busta and Spliff is like the greatest show on earth. You know what I'm saying? So
once.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? So no. If you like, they amazing on the stage. Like, they ain't regular. Like, you got some dudes that's dope, some dudes that's good, some dudes that really kills it, but they'll really destroy it. You better not ever get on the stage after them. You're gonna lose your entire fan base. Like, the whole crowd will walk out. Like, what the fuck are we doing? The fuck are we doing here? What are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like Slick Rick. Like, why can't we have another Slick Rick? Because no one's mind is ever going to be designed like that again, to give you the adventures of Slick Rick. No one's going to give you that. We're talking about an album that was a mixtape for a year or 2 years, and then they put it out as an album, and it still went.
We was doing so good.
You know what I'm saying? Right. You know what I'm saying? So,
give one highly dysfunctional, crazy story that you had in your career.
My career. That's it.
Oh, yeah,
that's dysfunctional story. That whole shit.
Like the whole career is dysfunctional.
Now I tell you what. The hustle that we had to put in to finish this Warriors album, right? We were down to the wire. I forget the last song Premier was mixing. We had to do some extra vocals. Premier mixed the song. But that night, I think 2 people went to jail. Yeah, 2 people went to jail that night. It was just like ridiculous shit happening. Like, we was there for like a week straight. We had sleeping bags, all kind of shit. It was like that crunch time that happens in the movie, right? When you see the flashes of what's going on here, what's going on here, what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like with the build up music and all that happening to the finish line. And then this one goes to jail, and then this one gets into a fight. And then it was just fucking.
Yeah.
But it done, and we gave the world the Warriors album, which was the most stolen album out of I forget what record store that was, but the most stolen.
It was the most stolen album.
The most stolen album in the history of hip hop.
It's like we gotta have.
I read that. I thought it was your first album.
What is it? HMV, right? HMV, I think it's called. What was the big?
I read something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's crazy. That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like we gotta have it.
Yeah. I wasn't even mad at him though. I'm gonna be honest. Now I don't give a fuck how you get it. Steal it. If you gotta steal it. Fucking get it.
Someone said, what is it? Tower Records? Was it Tower Records?
Tower Records, exactly, baby. That's it. Tower Records.
Oh my gosh. I'm done.
So I got one more. We got like one more question. Looking back, because we getting chopped up here. IG Live is messing with us. So looking back at your career, man, how can you sum it up?
Amazing. My career has been amazing. I am disgustingly rich. Let me explain that to you. I ain't talking about financially because you can never have enough paper, right? But I'm talking about Bill Brooklyn and traveling the world 5 times. Going places that I would never, ever
I can't hear you.
Oh, he can't hear me. He can't hear me, Ange.
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Now we getting chopped up at the end here.
Well, let me make sure I tell it to you again. Disgustingly rich. Being from Brownsville, Brooklyn, traveling the world 5 times, being able to put the kids through college, take care of everything that the wife needs and myself. That is something that's amazing. That's my currency, right? Like, I have something that most people from our areas don't have at this point. So I'm real grateful for that. And shout out to everybody that support everything that we did. It was a rough ride, but we rode it together and we still here. You know what I mean? So, that next piece is coming real soon. And I appreciate all the love and support.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. I just need thank you, Billy Dance, for coming on. It's been a pleasure and a privilege. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, yo, shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the real Highly Dysfunctional. Shout out to Cousin Ange. All right? Hey, yo, I appreciate y'all. Stay up.
Thank you. Salute, King. Salute.
Salute.
Peace.
Shout out to the real. Shout out to MJ. Thank you for plugging us in. I appreciate you, Queen. I'll see you again.
Like we came to shut it down. I'm like, we came to shut it down. I'm like, we came to shut it down. Nah, I don't need no help.